Hey guys, thanks so much for all the questions that you've been sending through. I'm getting around to answering them one a day, like we talked about. I had a follow-up question from our one that I did yesterday that was about how do I deal with a boss who's really toxic and aggressive and a bit of a nightmare. So the follow-up question was somebody sent me another message saying, how do I actually take the emotion out of that conversation, out of what's going on, so I can have that conversation we talked about yesterday. So the recap on that is actually where you sit down and have a chat with that person, work out why you have the conflict, what's going on with them, trying to approach it unemotionally so that you can get a resolution for you so it's a better situation. Because if you can't actually leave that job yet, or there's other reasons why you're stuck in that situation, then trying to make it more palatable and easier to handle is going to be the key. So from the emotional point of view, it's actually to look and go, how do you take the emotion out of it? And it's actually, how do you not make it about you? Part of what this person asked me the question was, is it, like how do you take the emotion out when it's been going on for a long time and it's actually something that really affects you? So the first part in that is you do that by just taking out the personal impact for yourself. And if you look at the other person's behavior and their motivation, why they do what they do, then you'll get it. So I talked about this a bit yesterday. Understand that their behavior and their reaction and why they're being an asshole isn't actually about you. It's about them. It's about their own insecurities, their own demons. It's about their own shit that's going on. It's about their own insecurities and fear. It's all of those types of things. So the thing that they're probably looking for is some sort of security in the situation. So if you can somehow get them to be more secure in the interactions and the relationship that you have with that person, if you can help them to understand you're not after their job, that you're not trying to undermine them, that you're actually there to support them, all of those sort of things will help that person. But the reason and the way that you can take that emotion out, the reason you have the emotion, is because it's so personal. If you can disconnect from that personal aspect of it and understand they're being the way they're being because of them, nothing to do with you, then that emotion disappears. Unfortunately, as human beings, we're so self-centric, we make everything about us. So it may just be that they're having a shit time, that they've got other things going on. They could have relationship problems at home. They could have any one of a million things, financial stress, stress with their kids, which has them react and act like a bit of a prick. But if you understand that that's happening because of them, not because of you, then you can disconnect or unwind that emotion. And secondly, even if it is about you, even if they're taking it out on you, if you can actually look at yourself and go, you know what? It's not about me. I'm not the person in the wrong here. I'm actually a decent human being. And if this other person's having that reaction, that's their shit, then it helps you disconnect from the emotion. I've had a couple of people in my life like that. A couple of people who act less than admirably and less than decently towards me. And for a long time, that used to really upset me. There's a couple of people a long time ago in my life, and there's still someone who's in my life now, makes it difficult. But what I do is I understand their anger, their bitterness, their frustration, their reaction, the reason that they behave the way they do, the reason that they behave less than what I think is admirably, is because of their shit. And that really helps me take the emotion out of it. Because if I don't take it personally, then it's not emotional for me. It's their behavior, it's their shit, it's nothing to do with me. Then obviously the caveat is, so long as you are being a decent human and not causing it. And then the last part was the person who sent me the message was a woman, and they said, is this just a chick thing, that being emotional? And it's not. It's a human thing. We're all very emotional. We all get impacted by what happens around us. We all get impacted by what people think, even though, as I say, I try not to. We all have our fears, doubts and insecurities about other people's opinions. It's definitely not a chick thing. It is a human thing. So if you can disconnect from the personal part of it, if you can disconnect from making it about you, understand it's about them, take the emotion away, situation's a shitload easier. See you soon.